It's showtime. It's Thursday night. Good evening. Welcome to Pop Astro Live, broadcasting on behalf of the Society for Popular Astronomy. Let's play the little countdown clip while we wait for everybody to jump on and join the live stream. Good evening, popular astronomers. How are you? It is Vicky Duncalf coming live from Anglesey, and this is Pop Astro Live, and already the comments are starting to pop up. How are you, everybody? Let's have a look here. Hi, Pat Duggan. I'm joining you from the north. Good evening, Pat. Jed Mack, thank you. Jed, I didn't realise that you've been my friend on Facebook for ages, and I never kind of made the connection between Jed Mack on Twitter and the Jared McTaggart, I think it is, on Facebook. So thank you so much. You sent me a lovely message yesterday telling me that you were going to be plugging my show to your fellow astronomers. So that's most appreciated. Let's have a look here. Good evening. All the classics, all the greats are joining us this evening. Hi, David. Good. What's that? I just saw good Wi-Fi tonight. Perfect picture. Thank God. Right. Okay. Temperature fluctuations in here. Now the sun's on the window. Okay, so it's bank holiday, isn't it? Is it bank holiday tomorrow? I don't know. I don't have children and I don't have a calendar, so I don't know. But tomorrow, I think Anglesey is just going to start sinking under the weight of incoming people. So while Anglesey sinks several inches further into the bedrock, the internet is going to go similarly downhill. But for the meanwhile, there aren't many people here and it's empty. So we've got good internet tonight. Isn't that good? Monday. Is it not a 4-day weekend? Well, just goes to show what I know. Bank holiday is Monday. There we go. Thank you, everybody, for helping me with my live admin. Anne Dempsey, hello. I know, Brendan, I get that Friday feeling now on Thursday morning. It means now that I'm like having a 3-day weekend because Fridays used to be dedicated to Pop Astro. And when I've done the show on a Thursday, I now wake up on a Friday going, oh, it's a fun day. So for the past couple of weeks, my Fridays have just been lovely. So let's sing. Let us sing from the rooftops. Plug the mug, plug the mug, plug the mug. As I say, this is just the basic 1 litre edition. But if you want a souped up Pop Astro mug, go to the shop. And also, I'm very pleased with this. This is the Analemma Necklace that is available in the Pop Astro shop. And I do not have a good track record with necklaces. I either lose them, they fall off me, or because I do sea swimming, apparently the sea corrodes silver. And also I'm allergic to some necklaces as well. So my window of necklace opportunity is tiny. And I've had this thing on for about 4 months nonstop now, and it hasn't corroded. It hasn't given me a rash, and I haven't lost it. I lost Jeff Notkin's meteorite necklace that I bought. So I don't know where that's gone, but my beautiful meteorite necklace, a Sikote Allen meteorite fall necklace, has not been seen. It's been missing in action for about a year now. And also, Mum, I'm sorry, I don't know where that silver disc one is either. Just don't know. But this one has stayed loyal and faithful on my neck. It's great. So if you can see, it's an analemma. It is this track that the midday sun takes throughout the year. Very cosmic, and also a hefty, chunky bit of bling there. Purchase it for a loved one or for yourself. It's not very expensive. Great, great necklace there. So well done for choosing Thursday's good reception yet again. Yeah, I'm aware that there are clashes in the Astro community, but what more can a girl do? Right, okay. Please share the video. It helps with these algorithms. The minute you share this video, there's something along the lines of, I don't know the precise facts, but within the first couple of seconds or even minutes of a video showing, it is flagged up as relevant if it is shared lots. So hit the share button wherever you may be in the world or whatever platform you are on. Click the like, click the subscribe, give it a share, help the SPA with its outreach, and we shall propagate like panspermia throughout the universe. That would be lovely. Thank you so much. Also, if you've watched this live stream 3 times or more and you are not a member of the SPA, do consider joining us for just £23, please. That'd be lovely. Please join us now. Share the video. That is a sales pitch over. Okay. See that scrolling along the bottom there? What have you seen in the sky this past few weeks? Have we? It's coming up to a full moon, but it has been cloudy, so I haven't really seen much. There has been a 22-degree halo knocking around the sun for the past few days in the high ice crystals. I constantly look out for other arcs in the sky, and over in Florida, there's been an exquisitely rare display of halos around the sun, and I should have pictures of them. I think I'll do it next week. The lady who's taken the photographs, if you haven't seen them already, historic arcs in the sky, which have only ever been spotted very, very infrequently. So that is brilliant. I think I'll have to show that next week, won't I? Beautiful moon. Is it? Is it what? Thank you. I think it's a big neck scarf thing. I like the background. Oh, I see. I'm reading my comments backwards. It's not wallpaper. It's from Amazon. It's dirt cheap. It is just a backdrop. And when it arrived, I was like, oh, but no, it is Southern Hemisphere and it has spelling mistakes on it. And that is why it is so cheap. Yeah, it is actually a handkerchief. It's God's handkerchief. In fact, I've got a name for it. It's the Cosmic Microwave Backdrop. Or I could just even call it the Cosmic Microwave Background, actually. That's what it is. It's a CMB. So thank you, everybody, for all of your lovely comments. But do tell us what you've seen in the sky this week. Have you managed to do some imaging? I know the people from my astronomy group in Cheshire have been doing some fantastic images of the Whirlpool Nebula. That was Whirlpool Galaxy, not Nebula. Sorry. And other assorted objects in the sky. So please let us know what you have seen in the sky this past couple of weeks, what you've imaged, what's taken your breath away. Have you seen Cygnus rising yet? I haven't seen Cygnus rising. Have you seen the Milky Way in its summer format yet? Oh, my book's through there. What's happening in the sky this week? If you'd like to also tell me, that would be great. Tell us, popular astronomers, what we should be looking out for. The pink full moon. Do you know what? I completely missed it. I've got a moon clock and the battery's going in it. And it was like still a couple of days away from the full moon. And I looked at it and gone, no, it's not the full moon. And I missed the moonrise because my batteries are going. Isn't it the second largest supermoon of the year? And next month it is the biggest supermoon. Okay, so we love, let's have a look. Hi, Vicky. I was able to video the sun through hydrogen alpha telescope and have uploaded them to Facebook. Jed Mack, you superstar. You've been a member for 5 years, Vicky. Well done. Thank you so much, Bob. You saw Mercury with binoculars. Is it a morning or an evening object at the minute? I love spotting Mercury. Tiny little stable dink on the horizon, often in the red blush of sunset. What could be more beautiful than that? And it is a tough spot, isn't it? Mercury is a really tough spot. It's not pink. It's called the pink moon after the phlox flower. Very good. Very good. Okay. So we love an all-female crew at Pop Astro Live. Now, women make up only 25% of employees in the space sector, so we are all about booking trends. So this week, our guest is Sue Nelson. Sue is top-notch broadcaster, producer, and filmmaker specialising in science and women in space. She's the author of Wally Funk's Race for Space and is the co-host of the Space Boffins podcast, which celebrates its 10th anniversary in a few months. We've got Eleni here with her most fascinating news bulletins. Eleni goes really deep, and you have got no choice but to sit there and go, oh, I didn't know that. Because it's all breaking news that Eleni does. So you're not likely to know it unless you get press releases. Then Sonia's presentation is about how the planets got their names. Even the most learned astronomer is bound to pick up new facts thanks to Sonia's meticulous slideshows. So this is the interactive chat room. If you are all new to Pop Astro Live, feel free to plunge in with the chat. What I've noticed over the months that we've been broadcasting is that people are really getting to know each other and befriending each other and pollinating each other once again, like friendship panspermia across the universe. And once lockdown lifts, oh my God, is it nearly over yet? Is it nearly over yet? Oh, just after sunset, Vicky saw Mercury in Scotland. That wasn't tonight, was it? Is it dark in Scotland yet? We've still got sunshine here. In fact, I can just see it. A lovely spectrum of white light kind of shimmering through the gorse bush. What's Sonia saying? Cross-pollination. There you go. Cross-pollinate. So if you make a comment, it pops up. And that works on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. So please feel free to join in the deluge of chat comments in the chat room. Make my eyes spin around like fruit machines, trying to keep up with all of the comments. It's raining. Oh, sorry to hear that, Sonia. I've not seen your weather forecast for a while, Sonia. Where have they been? Let's see what's happening. You're not in the club if you ain't got a mug. That is a great advert for the popular astronomy mug. Delicious water. Are you drinking enough water? 17th of May, indoor dining. Oh, Wendy. So a couple of years ago, I met Wendy at the Everyman Theatre in Altrincham. Have you been to an Everyman Theatre? Oh my God. They are like a concept cinema. They are like the most sumptuous. What was the name of the film we watched, Wendy? Just drop it in the chat, please. The most sumptuous, lavish concept cinema you've ever been to. There's no popcorn ground into the floor and kids running around. This is like seriously deluxe adult cinema. And you get to sit on like double couches, like beautiful velvet couches. And we went to the matinee of, it was a space film and I can't remember what it was now. Wendy will drop it in the comments. So we met. Now the film was entirely, what's the word? Yeah, cinema, not theatre yet. Apollo 11. Is that the one that's got no dialogue in it? It doesn't have any narrative. It's just like clips. And we had the whole cinema to ourselves and we sat and gasped the whole way through. That was a real remarkable film experience, being able to talk legitimately through a film. As you can imagine, I have got slight film issues. Yeah, I like to add my own soundtrack. Let's put it like that. Right. Okay. So, let's have a look here. We are now going to go across to, let's see what the other comments are. It's a bit rubbish. If you want the weekend. Oh, okay. Oh, don't say that. Oh, it's full sunshine here on Anglesey. Saturn is 4 degrees north of the moon on Monday. That should be a good spot, everybody. Hopefully we'll get to see that. Love seeing a bit of Saturn. Who doesn't love seeing a bit of Saturn? And in fact, I do reckon it's seeing Saturn that gets many people into astronomy. That is their first jaw dropper of a view that they get at a store party. Okay. Oh, and start saving up for the pennies in another mug. And once that mug is full of pennies, you'll have enough to buy a Pop Astro mug. How's that? Every time you drink a cup of tea, you'll just get a mouthful of slummy. Isn't that what they call change? Right, okay. We are now going across to Sue in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hi.
Hello.
You look nice tonight.
Oh, I should have plugged in my microphone, shouldn't I?
Oh, yeah. Plug in the big guns.
Sound a lot more professional. There we go.
Oh, you've got one of those nice like shields over the front of it.
There you go. Can you hear? Does that sound good?
That sounds really lovely. Yeah. Yeah, just tap the microphone.
No, they're not working.
Tap the top of it. Tap the top of it. Yeah, I think what you need to do is go into the... Can you see this little cog at the bottom of the screen that says cam and mic? You might have that. Click that and it comes up with audio. Mic, and then set it to that microphone.
It is set to that microphone.
Oh, it must be your microphone then. It's fine. It's all good. You sound lovely.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So tell us a little bit about who you are and what brings you to the shores of Pop Astro Live.
Sort of white wine, and it is, well, I'm not an astronomer, so I feel as though, when I saw Dave's message on Saturn 4 degrees north of the moon, I just thought, what? Even though, my background's physics, I love anything to do with science and astronomy and space. We have a telescope. We go out and we looked at, the recent whole Saturn, Jupiter, moon configuration to go and see that, and we watch it. But I don't know anything else about the technical side of it. But my main interest is anything to do with what's in the universe. So I'm particularly interested in the sort of history of it as well, in terms of who discovered what and when, and especially where women are involved. So because I make radio documentaries about space and often about astronomers, I make short films for the European Space Agency about their missions. I've written Wally Funk's Race for Space, which is all about the role that women played in trying to become astronauts in the 1960s, in particular with one woman, Wally Funk. So I do have this sort of yearning and urge, particularly towards women in astronomy and space. And I made a radio documentary in 2004 for Radio 4 on the Harvard computers that you may have heard about, which are the women that were at the Harvard Observatory in the sort of 1860s, so sort of 1880s to 1940s, who were recruited as basically they were recruited because they were cheaper than the men. So they knew that they could replace the men that they were paying 25 cents an hour to, and save some money. And all they had to do was look at photographic plates. And at that time, it wasn't your iPhone. It was these big glass photographic plates that were attached to telescopes. And they had to look at all the images on these plates. And I've seen them. I've been to Harvard and the observatory and looked at all these plates. There are around 500,000 of them. I haven't looked at all 500,000, obviously, but looked at some of them. But they're the size of a sort of, 78 record, for anybody who goes old school. And it looks like somebody's had a fag and sort of gone and let the cigarette burn a bit, and just loads of ash drop all over the plate. And these are the spectra of stars, and the women's job was to look at them through a microscope and analyze them and judge their brightness. And I mean, incredibly painstaking job. And when you see pictures of them, they look like these women. They're in sort of Victoria style dress with bustles and high-necked lace shirts and brooches, and it looks like they're doing tapestry because of what they're studying, but actually they're studying photographic plates. And that for me was a wonderful introduction into the sort of history of women in astronomy, who don't necessarily get credited, although thankfully they are now. And because astronomers like Annie Junk Buchanan and Wilhelmina Fleming, who's my particular favorite, she was from Dundee in Scotland and ended up working in Harvard, and Henrietta Leavitt or Levitt. So women who became incredibly important within the world of astronomy. And I love that. I love the sort of hidden figures of space, the women that you may not have automatically have heard of, but then when you realize the contributions that they've made, they make you go, so that's what really gets me going.
Oh, that's nice. Well, as it actually happens, I only just realized like the other day, hang on a minute, this show that I do has got an all-female crew. We have Eleni along and she does the space news, and Sonia does a presentation at the end. So that's 3 girls hosting an astronomy show. So I feel that's like pretty much booking the trend. What do you think to that?
Absolutely. Good. So it's not a manel, it's a a flannel. I don't know, a flannel. I don't know. Sort of
What's a
fennel.
manel? A man
A manel is an all-male panel. So a female, an all-female panel, then would we have a fample or I don't know. Sort of. I mean, I'm all for it.
Yes, Wendy's saying great film Hidden Figures about the women at NASA. That poor lady, I can't remember the main character's name, but having to run to the toilet, I really felt for her.
Yeah,
I got bladder anxiety watching that film.
Yeah. And I'm terrible for names. I can remember faces, but oh my God, what's her name? I actually met, it was before the pandemic, so it must have been 2019. I actually was in Washington to do some interviews for a program, and I got introduced, in fact, did an interview for the Space Boffins podcast with one of the hidden figures. Not those three, because there were more than those three or three or four that are concentrated on in the film. There was actually, an awful lot of those women who work behind the scenes as computers in NASA. It will bug me now until it will probably come to me about 10 minutes after I've logged off. But yeah, so I've got this really cheesy picture of me with her, like really, really pleased to sort of be with her, because that's the amazing thing, is that you realize that actually in some cases it is history, but in some cases, like with this woman whose name I can't remember, they're still alive. As with Wally Funk, she's, there were 13 women who passed the same astronaut tests as the men in the early 60s in America. And actually now there are only, I think, 2 of the women alive, Wally Funk being one of them, partly probably because Wally Funk was the youngest. She was only 22 when she took the tests. But as with the recent death of Michael Collins, the Apollo 11 and Gemini 10 astronaut, history is passing us by and removing these people and these names, and it's so important to remember them. I mean, in a way, Michael Collins, we're fortunate in that I don't think people are ever going to forget, one of the crew of Apollo 11. But unless we publicize the other people that were involved in, basically our search for understanding the universe in terms of astronomy and space, unless we learn about them and write books about them or make programs about them and find out who they were, they will disappear from history, because history is only ever written predominantly in the past from a very specific point of view. And often it's not just a male point of view. It can be a white male point of view. And so it's really interesting, right? When I was doing research for the book, to discover that not just were there women involved in all aspects of, say, NASA, for instance, from very early on as engineers, as mathematicians, doing the orbital calculations for the Gemini and Apollo missions, but there were also women involved in sort of front of house roles in terms of trying to become astronauts. But there were also not just African American women involved in that, but there were Native Americans working for NASA. I mean, this, it's that hugely important thing of, you realize how it's that whole thing of we're all connected, that actually all of us, no matter what country we're from, no matter what color our skin is, no matter what sex we are, that there are always people from every aspect of humanity who are fascinated by learning, by space, by astronomy, by wanting to know, who are we? Where do we come from? Are we alone in the universe? Are there other people there? How do we get there? How do we explore? How do we learn about the rocks on the moon or other planets? How do we build the spacecraft and rockets to get us there? It's never just one type of person. And I think so often women and ethnic minorities have been overlooked in terms of the contributions that have been made. And that's the wonderfully, I think, interesting thing now, is that it gives us, knowing more about the people that were part of it, it gives us a much more rounded view of our history, our global collective history.
Wow, what a great answer.
Sorry.
Sorry, no, that was out. No,
I went into monologue mode. Sorry.
Correct answer. That was your correct answer for 10 points. Now, Libby Jackson, who we had on that all-girl crew.
I like Libby.
Everybody loves a Libby. She is human spaceflight and microgravity program manager for the UK Space Agency. What a name! What a title! So it was Libby who recommended you to come on as a panelist. And when I first Googled you the other day, it said that you had written a book about Wally Funk. I was like, Wally Funk sounds like a groovy Yorkshireman.
What? Her real name is Mary. Her real name, her birth name is Mary Wallace Funk. And she'd go mad that I'd said this. And she kept telling me, don't put my real name in there. Don't say I'm Mary. And I was going, it's on the internet, Wally. And she said, well, stop it. Can you stop the internet? Can you? And I was going, it really doesn't work that way. It's out there. Well, don't tell them my age, because I put her age on the first page. And again, she gave me a bit of a bollocking about that. Don't put. And I was saying, everyone knows your age. You know, if you were 22 in the early 60s, come on. But yeah, so Mary Wallace Funk has become Wally Funk. And it's a crazy name. She's a crazy woman. She's like a lot of those women in the who did those who passed those astronaut tests in the early 60s. They were characters. They're very like the Mercury 7, actually, in that whereas the Mercury 7 were all these slightly, you know, most of them, not all, not like, you know, there were a lot of them were heavy drinkers. They were risk takers. They didn't take to authority very well. All the qualities actually you wouldn't want in today's astronaut corps. Somebody who drinks and takes risks, you know, you don't want that. But actually at that time, you know, you needed people who were so brave, so crazy that they would sit on top of a rocket that had never been tested before and try to go into space. And actually the women did share those qualities. They were all ahead of their time. They were all pilots. They were doing incredible things. A lot of all the women were sort of first in, like the first ever crop duster, the first ever woman to test smart bombs, the first ever woman to, you know, they were all pretty exceptional in their own way. And Wally was the first woman. She was, when she got asked to do the tests, she was working at Fort Sill military base in Oklahoma, and she was the first ever civilian woman to teach the military men how to fly. So, you know, this is in her early 20s. I say these women were all pretty amazing. So I have a huge soft spot for all of them. And if you've seen the Apple TV series For All Mankind, which is a sort of parallel universe series, if you haven't seen it, please do. You know, you can get a free trial. Just do it and don't tell anyone. Just watch the whole series and then don't subscribe. It shows as if a bit like the Philip K. Dick Man in a High Castle, where in that story Japan and Germany win World War II. In For All Mankind, it's the space race never stopped. America didn't win it. The Russians did. The Russians got the first people on the moon, and the space race continued. And women weren't excluded until in America until the early 80s, with the first American woman in space in 83 with Sally Ride. But they actually include the contributions that the Mercury 13 made and include women. And it shows how their society would have changed. And so by the time you get to the 1960s in this series and the late 60s and early 70s, you have women in charge of massive important positions in mission control in NASA, and a woman in head of Johnson Space JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and what have you. So it's fantastic because it sort of shows what could have been, and that's a it's a sort of science fiction trope anyway, and I love science fiction, and I've always liked those sort of slightly parallel universes or alternate universes. And so if you love History of Space, For All Mankind is definitely one, and they actually have a tribute to one of the Mercury 13 in that the sort of Jerry Cobb was the female pilot who helped recruit all the other female pilots in the early 60s to take the same astronaut tests as the Mercury 7. And one of the characters in For All Mankind is called Molly Cobb, and that's pays tribute to Jerry Cobb.
Ooh.
Characters can be more different, but it's because Jerry Cobb was really religious and Molly Cobb smokes a lot of pot and won't say no, but it's a name tribute.
Very nice. Good knowledge there. I'll definitely have to check that series out. What's it called again?
For All Mankind.
For All Mankind. Give us a spoiler.
No, I can't. Except all I can say is I've just watched finished this. I think it was season 2 ends series last week. It was great, actually. It was Friday night last week. I had final finale of For All Mankind and the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I was in like geek heaven, and it was just both fantastic. And there were, considering, let's just say there's a fight for the moon base, because in this alternative thing, everything's progressed faster and we've got a moon base. And season 3 looks like it's going to be taking place on Mars. So it's phenomenal.
Wow.
It's phenomenally good. It's phenomenally good. Yeah.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, excuse me, we had Catherine Rayner Evans on. Now, I mentioned her. She is the space stamp collector. And you said you liked philatelist. And tell us about your stamp collection.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't remember when. I've always loved stamps and collected them when I was young, and then sort of stopped in my teenage years, as everyone does. I think I sent my stamp book to a Blue Peter appeal, and then I only started whenever I saw stamps that had space on them, or collections that were to do with stars or galaxies or astronomy or anything to do with space, I would collect them. So now I have I have a whole load of boxes of stamps. So I'm going to have to watch that episode again so I can say, but yeah, so I love them. And the nice thing is that the post office does do special editions every now and again of space related stamps. But yeah, no, I do. I mean, you can probably see behind me. What have I got? I've got loads of space books, but I also have got, the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda.
Have you got your Wally Funk book there?
Doctor Who, the Wally Funk book, Doctor Who TARDIS. I mean, it's just George Takei. I'm a big Star Trek fan, so there's George Takei's. William Shatner, love him. No, it's all Tom Baker's autobiography. So yeah, it's mostly space stuff, science fiction. It's Geek Central here. And up there, which you can't... Oh, no, you can see. I've got my Nick Fury Agents of Steel comic there, which was a thing. So, yeah, it's...
Sue, can you
it's my life.
Hold up your Wally Funk book, please?
Yes.
Let's have a look. There we go. Right, let's put you full screen. Give us a little plug for the book.
Well, if you're interested in hidden histories of women in space, then this is the book for you. It's a sort of a Thelma and Louise, basically, of Wally and myself traveling around different places, but also with a history of women in space at the same time. Wally has bought a flight on Virgin Galactic. She's now in her early 80s. So, you know, it's getting tight now in terms of timing. And she was with Buzz Aldrin and Richard Branson on the when they sort of, you know, christened the spaceport America in New Mexico, where the Virgin Galactic's going to fly from with space tourists. So, yeah, I'm getting nervous now because of the pandemic and everything going back in terms of time and stuff. She needs to go up pretty soon, but obviously I appreciate that these things have got to be safe. So the book takes us goes through Texas and visits to NASA. It gets the history. It's in Europe at the European Space Agency when we were there making radio programs, and it's also in New Mexico in terms of the next stage, really, which is space tourism, as well as you know, the SpaceX is doing brilliantly in terms of private space flight for NASA, but there are over 600 people have spent over $250,000 per person to go into space, and they only get a couple of minutes up. It's not one of these orbital things. It just goes up. You're there for a minute or so, and then you come down. But my God, if I had the money, I'd do it. I also like the thought of these weather balloon things that go up. I think they might be the real sort of affordable ones for most of us, where you can go up very slowly up in these balloons and go up to the edge of space and then slowly come back down again. But yeah, you need some money. But I'd love to see Wally go up there, because she's been waiting 60 years to go into space, denied her chance because NASA wouldn't take women. They had these qualified women in the early 60s, and they decided, well, it's like most things with any progress, you have to wait for the right time in history, and unfortunately the time wasn't right for them. But so that's why I want to see her go.
Sue, thank you so much for educating us about a whole set of people that I didn't know about. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. I can hear your husband's clarinet, though.
I know. Yes, I did warn you that he has jazz band practice via Zoom.
I was thinking it was sounding quite jazzy. That's so much fun.
Yeah. No, he's tooting away.
Well, it could be worse. It could be bagpipes.
My dad played the bagpipes, actually. So yes, it's just as well. Yeah, no.
Not that there's anything wrong with bagpipes other than the volume.
Yeah, no. I'm glad he didn't have them when I was growing up. That's all I'll say.
Oh, thank you so much, Sue. When's your next documentary or piece of media work on that we can look out for?
Well, we've literally, it's still up on BBC iPlayer. We've just made a radio program, BBC World Service, on the shuttle, on the first astronaut recruits to the space shuttle program in the late 70s were pioneering, because for the first time, up until then, you'd only had men with the Apollo astronauts and Gemini and what have you. And then the shuttle, exploded I shouldn't really use that phrase, shouldn't I? I mean, it's in terms of it diversified, shall we say, in that you suddenly got the first women in the shuttle astronaut corps for America. You got African Americans, you got Asian Americans, and so we made a documentary about that. And God, I'm so terrible, I can't even remember the title. Oh God, what is wrong with me? I can't remember. But anyway, I'm sure if you just Google World Service shuttle, and it was presented by a shuttle astronaut called Nicole Stott. But the people on it are fantastic. They're all mostly astronauts from the space shuttle era, including Charlie Bolden, who was also a former head of NASA. So that was our most recent space-related documentary. The one I'm working on at the moment is actually nothing to do with space. It's with the science writer Angela Saini, called Smart Women Male Genius, about why intelligence, and particularly genius, always tends to, as a descriptor, tends to favor men and not women. In terms of, if you ask most people who's a genius, name a genius, they'll go for Stephen Hawking, Albert Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci. And we're going to examine that from a sort of scientific and cultural point of view. So that should be quite fun. That should be fun.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to listening out and watching out for your brilliant production, Sue. And it has been an absolute pleasure. Okay.
Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. Wow. Oops. Just cut off rather abruptly. It's like putting the phone down on somebody. Okay. So I've got something new for you. Look who is here. And he's got a huge smile on his face. Maybe take one of these out. These are hurting. Yeah, thank you, Sue. That was lovely. Thanks, Wendy, as well, for your great comments as well. You really keep the chat room alive, Wendy. Right, I've got something for you. Are you ready to see this? Where is it? Right, this is a bit different. Do not be alarmed by what is about to happen. It's coming now. He's been flying around the solar system, or maybe a bit further. But to the casual observer, he's a mithering, pestering sloth. Where have you been to this week, Cosmo? Cosmo, where have you been? 3 clues. Only answer after the clues. Cosmo over and out. Yo, that was my first ever attempt at music production. I hope you enjoyed it. Cosmo's got his own jingle. Sonia's got her own jingle coming up in a minute. Eleni is going to get one next week, and then we'll hopefully have one for the Pop Astro show while I learn my way around the music equipment that has lived on my computer since I've had it for 7 years and never even knew. So this is where I read out 3 clues. Cosmo has been zipping around the solar system on his amazing mothership that you just saw then, and you've got to guess where he's been. 3 clues. Don't answer until I've read out the last one. Otherwise, you wreck it for everybody with your clever general knowledge ability. So don't wreck it. Let's have a look here. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, thank you for all of the comments. Can't actually keep up with them now. Just blurring by me. Okay, Cosmo. Where have you been, Cosmo? Well, there's not very much going on where Cosmo's been this week. A few particles of ice here and there. That's your first one. There's not much happening other than a few little particles of ice. I mean, that could be anywhere in space, really, couldn't it? It's an area 3,000 miles in width. Where could he be? And it was discovered in 1675 at the Paris Observatory using a refracting telescope that had a 2.5-inch objective. Where did you learn all this, Cosmo? That had a 2.5-inch objective lens with a 20-foot long focal length and a 90 times magnification. Steve Fractal says I'm rubbish at these quizzes. Great. Have a guess. We're in an area where there's not much happening. It's 3,000 miles wide and it was discovered in 1675 at the Paris Observatory. Where has Cosmo been? Who can guess it first? Let's have a look at the comments. Ooh, someone's almost close, but not quite the correct answer that we are looking for. Hey, Cosmo, he's getting excited. He can feel it coming. Oh, Robin, you are an SPA employee, so unfortunately, your answer is null and void, even though it's right. Ian Baker! Ian, my love, my sweet, I know that you're not going to be getting your new telescope because of what's happened this week. I'm really, really feeling for you. We did exchange a couple of messages. I hope you get well soon, and I hope it's really, really sorted out soon. Cosmo's giving you a little wink in your honor. Well done to everybody who said the Cassini division. That is the gap in between Saturn's rings. Olympus Mons, sorry, Alison. Cosmo says no. Thank you, everybody, for guessing. Right, okay. Eleni, waiting patiently as ever. The show just keeps on overrunning because the guests are just so amazing. Eleni, I'm coming to you in 3, 2, 1. Hello,
Hi,
baby.
everyone.
Oh, how are you?
I'm a bit
Sorry.
tired.
Sorry for keeping you waiting. Are you tired because you've been doing space things?
I've been tired this week because I've been teaching at the school and it can be exhausting.
And what are you teaching?
Well, I'm supposed to be a physics teacher, but I mostly teach maths these days, which is okay, but not as fun as physics. So
No, and astronomy is even more fun than physics, isn't
I know,
it?
right? I know, but you hardly ever find an entire module focused on astronomy in schools. But, you know, maths is not bad. Hi, Wendy.
Oh, there we go. Right. Okay. So,
Right. I've got a few things for you. Let me. You should. Can you see the slides?
Yeah, this
Perfect.
looks good.
Okay. Let's put them on a nice. Every time. Okay. There we go. I remembered.
Okay, we have got you. I'm going to disappear for a few minutes and you enjoy taking center stage.
Lovely. Okay, so I've got quite a few tidbits today. I won't tire you, don't worry. But I think it's quite a few interesting things that people should know about. So first of all, there is a new telescope that is actually going to join that worldwide effort to protect Earth from risky asteroids. So that new telescope is located in Chile. It's part of the European Southern Observatory. And it's going to be part of a testbed telescope project, or TBT project for short, which is a big collaboration between the European Southern Observatory and the European Space Agency. And the primary goal is to be able to detect and follow up near-Earth objects with the same telescope system, rather than have to jump between different telescopes. There will be inevitable time delays and things like that. So this should be a way into having a very precise and, if you want, 24/7 tracking of things that might look a bit risky or dangerous for Earth. Now, this particular TBT project is also going to provide a chance to test both the hardware and the software for a future project called FlyEye, and make sure that everything works as expected, because the up-and-coming FlyEye project is actually going to be entirely robotic, and it will focus on tracking fast-moving objects in the sky. So you don't want to launch something like that without having tested the hardware and the software involved as much as possible, for obvious reasons, right? You want to get it right. You don't want to have spent millions and then be like, oh, wait a second, this actually doesn't work. So I think that's a pretty interesting collaboration, and it definitely goes to show that when people put their minds together and they put their differences aside, they can come up with beautiful collaborations that can, connect and bring everyone together. And, the purpose of this is actually beautiful as well, like protecting the Earth from risky asteroids. So here we go. This is the new telescope that has joined ESO. So let's wish it luck, and let's wish the project good luck, and wait and see what will happen with it. So now we're going to move from that into a very beautiful picture, which is interesting because it shows all the different things that you can see in just one picture, and all the different information, the wealth of information you can extract depending on the field of astronomy you're interested in. And it just goes to show how beautifully unique every little corner of the universe is, like in terms of aesthetics, right? Because I think these pictures are like the most beautiful art you can possibly have on your living room wall, or I don't know, your bedroom wall. So this particular image showcases quite a few astronomical curiosities, some of them very far away, some of them quite close. So the protagonist, if you want, of the picture is this galaxy at the center, which is called Sextans B, and it's a dwarf galaxy. It's a rather small galaxy. And in this particular galaxy, you can see those red clouds, and these are atomic hydrogen clouds, and these places are where stars are being born. Now, you can't see it in the image, but there is also an abundance of planetary nebulae, which are supernova remnants in this galaxy as well, which is what happens when stars die. So quite a few things here already. Adding to that, you can look at these fuzzy objects in the background. I'm trying to point at some. These are all very distant galaxies. And if you're looking for them in an image like that, you need to look for like fuzzy, extended type of objects. So they do not look nice and pointy and circular like these. They look quite fuzzy and extended. And then we come on to our own Milky Way, and we have these stars in the foreground, and you can tell they're stars because of these spikes, and these spikes are due to diffraction, and these stars are in our own galaxy. So in one picture you see bits of our own galaxy, very far away galaxies, and a galaxy in between with clouds that basically give birth to stars right now. So how amazing is that? This picture was taken at Cape Peak National Observatory, and though the focus is in the galaxy itself, you can get a lot of information about all these things that we just mentioned. So I think it's worth remembering when we look at these beautiful pictures in science magazines or blogs. Try and see, what can you detect? What do your eyes see? Do you see galaxies? Do you see stars? Can you tell what it is you're looking at? So hopefully this little bit should help you figure out what you're looking at next time you see a picture. And now I'm going to go from the universe and all the beautiful bits in it into something a little bit different, okay? So do you remember that asteroid that chunk of it was fragmented and actually fell on Earth in Botswana in 2018? I vaguely remember it, but it didn't register then really well. So I kind of remembered a little bit about it today as I was going over my slides. I was like, oh, wait a second, I remember that a little bit. But if anyone remembers when this happened, put it in the comments, because yeah, I think I should start keeping a log for future presentations, like what happened that day. Maybe I can present it 10 years later. You never know. So what we are looking at here is the fragment, and this was published a few days ago in the, the Meteors Journal or something along Meteorite Journal. I think I'm saying that correctly, and it's likely from Vesta, and Vesta is a little bit of a pain because it's one of the largest objects in the asteroid belt with a quite substantial diameter, a mean diameter of about 525 kilometers, and it is potentially quite risky in that a lot of different meteorites have actually originated from Vesta. So it did hit this fragment, it hit Botswana's Central Kalahari Game Reserve on the 2nd of June in 2018. And it was actually first spotted by the Catalina Sky Survey, which is a University of Arizona survey. And it was observed, spotted in 2018 as a faint point moving across the sky, literally 8 hours before it actually hit Botswana. So this is the second time ever that something that's been spotted in the sky has actually been seen to hit a place on Earth and actually be retrieved afterwards. So there's studies of its composition and trajectory that suggested that it originates from Vesta. So understanding this tiny little bit basically means we can better understand Vesta and whatever might come from it, its composition, and also if there is another impact, how the fragments, what trajectory rather the fragments will follow. So it's all very interesting and it's all very important for us studying these little fragments. And now I'm going to go to my space news and weather. So last but not least, there is a very small chance of auroras. There was a flurry of CMEs, but none of them is directly pointing towards Earth, but there are a few that may actually graze the Earth's magnetic field. So if they do, there is a chance for some auroras tomorrow. So keep an eye out and you might see something. And of course, I couldn't not mention Ingenuity's third successful flight, which was completed on the 25th. And it exceeded expectations. And the helicopter is actually flying today as well as its fourth flight. And the data should be arriving later today for analysis at JPL. And here's two more beautiful images like this one, which I know it might seem like doesn't show much, but I think it's gorgeous. And I think, you know, you can see the similarities between Earth and Mars, right? If you just close your eyes and open them quickly, if you don't see that little bit there, that could be, I don't know, Atacama Desert. Could it not? It's
Definitely.
It's just incredible, yeah. So yeah, here's the data from the fourth flight, and there is one more, I believe, scheduled. There should be 5 flights. So hopefully everything goes well, and yeah, we get some more exciting stuff headed to our way from Mars.
Yay!
So that's me. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it had a lot of different bits, but I think they were all pretty cool. So,
oh yeah, you're. I'm normally not such a fan of PowerPoint, but your presentations nail it every time.
I'm really glad because I really don't like PowerPoint either. So I try to memorize as much as I can, put a big picture to get people's attention, and then like say stuff instead of like, you know, populate the whole thing with text.
Oh,
so
that's a nice way of doing it.
I'm glad it's working. I'm really glad it's working.
Thank you, Eleni. And I'm sure that you have to spend quite a lot of time preparing that. And I know our crowd here watching are very, very grateful for all that you do for the SPA. And Robin said you've just joined the SPA. I
did. I was like, okay, I think I should join. It's just so beautiful. Like everything the society does. I just think it's everyone should join, and it's so cheap.
Yeah, £23 per year.
So I'm gonna say this before I go. It's a late birthday present to my boyfriend, but I joined on his behalf as well. So it's a 2-for-1 membership thing. So hopefully we will both enjoy the membership, and I will keep you updated on something that is coming up soon related to SPA and myself, and we'll see how that goes.
As our newest member, thank you very much. 2 new members, Robin, chalk that one up for me.
There you go. So have a
Thank
nice
you.
evening, everyone, and enjoy the weekend. It will be a long one, so enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. See you soon, Eleni. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. I feel like I've left Eleni out now because I've made a song for Sonia and a song for Cosmo, but trying to think about lyrics for a Eleni song was slightly more tricky than Sonia's weather song and Cosmo's Where's He Been song. So are you ready for Sonia's song? Where's it gone? I can see Sonia. Oh, let's put Sonia on. Hi, she's clapping her hands.
Hello.
Sonia, hi, you all right there?
I am, yes. How is everybody? And plug the mug.
Plug the mug. There we go.
Plug the mug.
Hang on. If you
it's
do
got nothing
yours,
in it now. I've kind of drank it all up, so.
if you do yours that way, we can bash mugs. There you go. Cheers. Cheers. Clink, clink, clink. Who knows, Sonia? Soon we might be able to do that in real life. Right. I've made you a record. Do you want to hear your song?
I do. You showed it me. I was like, oh, so exciting.
Right. Okay. Right. So this is my weather jingle for you, Sonia. It's coming right now. Will it be cloudy? Will it be sunshine? Will it be hurricanes? Sonia's been checking out the jet stream and the humidity. Is it safe to get my telescope out, or will it blow over and bend? Well, Sonia's here with all the answers, my starry-eyed astronomer friend. I didn't spend very long on it, I've got to say.
That is pretty good. I like that, yeah.
Oh, well, now I know how to make these things. There's going to be a lot more coming your way, so we can work on it and elaborate on it.
I'm looking forward to Eleni's next week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh, yeah. What rhymes with Eleni? There will be something. Right. Okay. So what's your presentation on this week, Sonia?
So I thought I'd do along the lines of how planets got their names.
Ooh.
And where they came from. And I believe you know quite well the different names of the weeks as well for the planets. So I thought I'd leave that very, very last bit for you as well.
Okay, let's get the screen share up. Right, let's have a look. Share screen. Chrome tab. Planets and their names. Sure. Right, share, present. How about that? Boys and girls, can you see that? Oh, it's
there
working.
There we go. How the planets got their names. So, my favourite ever. We'll go next planet, please.
Next planet.
Yes, we're not next cloud, but we've got next planet.
Yeah, go on.
So we'll start with Mercury. Of course, it's the closest to the sun. However, it's not the hottest either. A lot of people think because it's closest to the sun, it's the hottest, which it isn't. That's actually the next planet along. It is the 8th largest, is where the solar system. And Mercury is known as the god of commerce, travel, and thievery. And it was named of how lovely and swiftly it moves across the sky. Sorry about the pictures. I should have blocked out those little images, shouldn't I, really, of the pictures?
If you'd have not said anything, look, Cosmo is just ashamed, Sonia.
I'm so sorry, Cosmo. I just noticed that. I'm thinking, oh dear, I hope there's no one else watching. There's little people. I'm so sorry about that.
Closer.
I don't think you can see it on the slideshow, but you can definitely see it quite vaguely on my PowerPoint. So we move on to Venus. So Venus, it's known as Earth's twin because it's quite similar to Earth with the greenhouse effect as well, and it is the hottest planet in the solar system because of the greenhouse effect it has, and it is the second planet from the sun and the 6th largest after the Roman goddess of love and beauty because of how it is the brightest star in the sky that we can see as the evening star or the morning star. I'm not quite sure what it is at the moment, if it's the morning or an evening, or if you can't see it at all at the moment either.
Well, I've just been looking at my book and it says it's the morning. Hang on, no, I'm sorry. The evening star. I could be wrong there. Where's it gone? Where's my info? Because I've missed Venus. I've not seen her for a long time. Let's have a look. There's something here. Venus, in the latter half of the month, Venus roars into view after sunset. It must be out there. I've not seen Venus.
It must be. I can't see. I've still got rain above me, so I can't see anything at the moment.
Okay, well, there we go. So, okay, so good work, Venus.
So we then have Earth. our little lovely Earth with human life form on it. I believe this is the only Earth that is not named after a Greek or Roman god. The goddess Earth was tell us the name Earth is an English or German name, which simply means the ground, and Earth is known as the third planet from the sun and the fifth largest. So it is actually the only planet in the solar system that does not have a name. I did not know that.
Oh, that's like Earth is the only planet whose English name does not derive from mythology. Oh, okay. Earth. Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
There we go. So we have Mars, the red planet, named by the Romans for their god of war because of its red blood light. This colour looks red in a distance, but up close it's more of a butterscotch. Other civilizations also named this planet from this attribute. For example, the Egyptians named it Herdesha, meaning the red one, and Mars is the fourth planet from the sun, and it's the seventh largest as well. I've never heard of it with a butterscotch before. That's interesting.
You know, just looking at it, it does look a bit like a Werther's original.
It does, yes. Definitely. The one behind it does as well.
Nice,
Definitely.
yeah. Now I want some butterscotch.
Some butterscotch Werther's original as well.
Okay.
Next planet, please.
Next planet. There we go.
There we go. So we have Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, named the king of the Roman gods. It was named after Zeus by the Greeks and Jupiter by the Romans. It's the largest and the most massive of the planets, and is the fifth planet from the sun, and also is known as the Great Red Spot.
Very good.
So we're going to Saturn, my absolutely favourite planet. I remember years and years ago when I first got my Meade ETS 9-2 scope, and Saturn was one of my first planets I saw, and it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up and I saw Saturn, and I was like, Dad, come on. And I grabbed and I made my dad go outside to have a look at Saturn. But it's the only time in his life he ever saw Saturn. I'm absolutely thrilled. So it's absolutely one of my favourite planets to look at with the rings. And every morning I've been getting up. I think it's gone now. I think the last day was a couple of days ago in the morning. You could see it. Every day I've got up in the morning, I was like, oh, it's cloudy. I think you can still see Jupiter in the morning at the moment, but I think Saturn has now gone. So Saturn was the former Roman god of agriculture, and he is now retired. He's so old, he's now retired. He was replaced by his daughter Ceres. Saturn is the sixth planet from the sun and the second largest, and Saturn is the root of the English word of Saturday as well.
Yes, Saturn's Day. It's not Saturn's Day tomorrow. It's Vendredi, Venus Day tomorrow.
There we go. Vicky knows all those words. And then we go on to Neptune, which is the blue planet. I believe, is it the windiest planet, or is that Uranus? It's Neptune or Uranus that's the most windiest planet in the solar system.
I think it's Neptune. Neptune with its
I think it's Neptune.
winds.
I'm sure it's Neptune where it's very, very windy. And it was named for the Roman god of the sea. It is the eighth planet from the sun and the fourth largest, and it also has rings around it as well. Uranus is the seventh planet from the sun and the third largest, and was named after an ancient Greek king of the gods. He was the former Roman god of the sky, and he is retired because he was replaced by his grandson Jupiter.
Are they getting a state pension, do you think, Sonia?
I think they are. They must be. Definitely. Definitely.
Wow.
Do you think they're paid in stars or something?
Oh, what? Sorry.
But might be paid in stars.
They make it rain in stars. Yeah. Speaking of raining, I bet you're going to depress us with the weather forecast in a minute, aren't you?
I know. Not really. It's not looking too bad over the weekend, but the bank holiday, yeah. That is a depressing day for the bank holiday Monday. And then the last final, we can't forget Pluto. The last final planet of the slide.
Oh, hang on, yeah. Next planet.
There we go. Next planet.
There we go. Was it named after the Disney dog?
There we go. Yes, the Disney dog, Pluto. Yes.
Oh, hang on. I've pressed the wrong button, Sonia. Don't shout. Oh, where's it gone? I think that's it. There we go. Oh, there we go. Present. There we go. I think we're back online.
We are. So we cannot forget Pluto. It may not be classed as a planet, but it will always be a planet for all us astronomers out there. And it orbits beyond the orbit of Neptune. Usually it should do. It is much smaller than any of the other planets and is now classified as a dwarf planet as from 2006. In Roman mythology, Pluto is the god of the underworld. The planet received its name perhaps because it is so far from the sun that it is in perpetual darkness.
Wow.
There we go. And then, so where did the names of the days of the week come from? So originally, the Babylonians tracked the sun, moon, and the 5 planetary bodies known to them. They believed that each of these 7 celestial bodies was ruled by a god or goddess, who also shaped events on Earth. And in the 7-day week of the Babylonian calendar, each day was influenced by a particular god or goddess. And I believe you're very good at this bit, Vicky, of knowing the 7 days of the weeks of the names.
Okay, well, we've got Sun's Day, Moon Day, Mars Day, Mardi in French, isn't it? Martis, it says there.
It is, yes, that's it.
Dies Martis, that's where it comes from. Mercury, Quicksilver, Wednesday, Mercredi, isn't it, in French? Jupiter, Jeudi, Thursday. Venus, Vendredi, Friday. I've got such a good GCSE French accent. You can tell I got a C in my A-level French. And Saturn's Day. Isn't that lovely? I don't think not a lot of people know that.
No. I wasn't going to be on next week because my mum's birthday. I did promise to bake a cake. However, when you mentioned about halos, I was like, oh, there goes a presentation. I could have sun, moon, and rainbows. I'm like, I'm gonna have to do that now. I'm gonna have to see how I can get round this with make. I promised my mum a birthday cake, so I usually bake it. The Friday it'll be the icing it, and I made, and I was like, oh, halos, yes, sun halos, moon halos. You can those little small rainbow things that you get in the clouds, the sundogs and things like that. That's a presentation we need to do now, Vicky. I was like,
Sonia,
no, you give me ideas.
Bake a rainbow cake, Sonia, and then you've got all of the your mum will say, what is this? And you'll say, Mother, it's a 22 degree halo. Do you know nothing?
Oh, she won't get that. She won't know any of that, bless her. I think she's 73. 73 is of age, and her hair hasn't gone grey.
That's nice. I'm jealous
I
of
keep
that.
looking in the mirror and I keep pulling my greys out.
I'm allergic to hair dye, so you're just going to watch me turn into a grizzled badger over the next couple of years as my hair just goes grey.
You go gracefully. That's what I intend to do, is go gracefully. I will never dye my hair. I don't intend to. No.
Oh, well, it looks
just
fantastic.
Go gracefully.
Wouldn't mind just.
I've never dyed my hair. My hair's my own hair. I've never dyed it in my life.
Oh, it's gorgeous, Sonia. Thank you. Oh, you've got the weather forecast?
I have got the weather forecast, yes.
Go on, let's have it.
Because I am so busy now on weekends. So if you want to know what the weather forecast, watch Thursday Night Live. Yes. Yeah. And that gives you another thing to join your SPA as well. So you can see my weather forecast. You can also, hopefully soon in the magazine, I'll be bringing some little bits as well of how to understand the weather as well. So that'd be really good. That'll be coming up summer, autumn time in the magazine. I intend to do some sections in there as well. Yes, on weekends, I'm really at the computer now because I'm walking out a lot. I don't know if you saw, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I did an 18.5-mile walk. It took about 8 hours to do. We got the train because I live literally around the corner from the train station, and the walking group, because you're only allowed 6 people now in a walking group, we got the train to Hadfield, just near Glossop, and then we walked all the way back from Stockport, which was, I think when I got home, it was just over 8.5, 19 miles.
Did you just walk down the hard? Did you just walk down the hard shoulder?
I saw the Woodhead Pass. I was like, oh, get your lift on the Woodhead Pass. I never walked that far in my life. And then Saturday, I'm really looking forward to Saturday. We are going up Kinder Scout,
lovely.
Which is the highest peak in the Peak District. So I'm going to be on the highest part of the Peak District. So I'm looking forward to that. So prepare some lovely views with my camera on Saturday. And then Sunday, I intend on taking Peter to Tex Noakes Country Park in Macclesfield. For those that do like walking and live in Cheshire, I do recommend Texas Country Park. You can see all of Manchester, Cheshire, Lancashire, and Jodrell Bank in the distance as well, dependent on which way the dish is going, and it makes a really nice walk as well. So I'll stop blabbering on now, and I will get on to the weather forecast.
Hang on, let me play your jingle again, Sonia. I'm going to play your jingle again for you.
We shall play my jingle.
I've just realised, because it's more for the weather than for your presentation, isn't it?
Okay.
So let's have your weather jingle again. Will it be cloudy? Will it be sunshine? Will there be hurricanes? Sonia's been checking out the jet stream and the humidity. Is it safe to get my telescope out, or will it blow over and bend? Well, Sonia's here with all the answers, my starry-eyed astronomer friend. Take it away.
So tonight it's probably the coastal areas are going to get the better of the weather, hence why it's clear skies at the moment. Okay, we will have that rain. It may disappear by probably midnight, 1 o'clock tomorrow morning, if you're willing to stay up that late to do some imaging. Tomorrow's going to be much more like today. You have these showers in the afternoon, which will precipitate, and they should be gone midnight again, 1 o'clock in the morning. Again, the coastal area will get better weather than inland areas at the moment. Scotland's the same at the moment. The coastal areas have the rain, and the inland areas, they'll have the precipitation and the cloud. Saturday and Sunday is looking at the best of the moment. Saturday may get the odd shower, South Wales, the southwest, Northern England and Scotland, but by 10 o'clock it does look a very nice clear night for much of Ireland, Scotland and Wales at the moment. Sunday again is looking dry most of the day. The afternoon we'll get those showers again with the sun that will heat up, and we'll get those showers southwest Wales, central, Northern England, Scotland and Southern Ireland, but again it will clear up again by at least midnight, 10 o'clock midnight. Then the bank holiday, you might as well just forget it. It's looking such a washout bank holiday. Come the afternoon, it's just going to rain, heavy rain and high winds as well. Tuesday, not looking too bad at the moment. It's going to be more of how this week has gone and clearing up quite late on at night. So if you don't mind those towers imaging and you don't the skies, then it's till midnight when those skies have cleared for us all. The Saturday and Sunday is looking best at the moment for us. The jet stream that is over at the moment does go a lot of going to give us a lot more coldness. We're not expecting a heat wave anytime soon, I'm afraid. There's even been some snow on the cards for next week, and I've seen some Twitter as well. Matt Taylor, who present the weather, have hinted with a little snowflake in their Twitter for next week. So do make the most of the weekend. It does look like the best of the weather at the moment for city imaging.
I want a refund on this weather presenter. Ever since you started, it's just been dire.
We did have some glorious weather last week, though. We did have some nice weather last weekend, though. So.
iPad. Actually, yeah. What am I on about? We have had a lovely spell of weather. So how quickly we forget.
I know.
Oh, Sonia, you are so lovely. I hope you enjoyed your tune. And we'll do one for Eleni next week.
Yes, I know. I might just have to. You'll have to pull my arm to do a sun halo, moon, sun dogs, sun pillars. You know, whatever we see in the skies that relates to those. I might have to do that now because I will look forward to doing anything that's. You know me and my PowerPoint presentations.
I do, yeah. Sun halo, sun pillar, 22-degree sun dogs.
There we go.
There we go. We'll do halo charades. Okay, Sonia, it's been a pleasure. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, we love Sonia. I am member number 1 of the Sonia Sonia fan club. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for your wonderful, informative and entertaining comments. You really do make the show. We'll see you back here at the same time next week. Oh my God, I just used a cliche. I will be back here next Thursday, hopefully, internet permitting. It's now always going to be Thursday. Hi, Ken. We're not sure at the minute. We struggle with bandwidth on a Friday when the kids come. I'm quite enjoying it on Thursdays. How are you finding it? Because I'm in a weekend mood, you see, and that helps me be very lively on the camera. Bye, Sonia. Thank you very much. Right, we've got one more Cosmo for you. Let's just have a meddle around with me windows and banners here. Okay, we have got another Where's Cosmo been? Are you ready? He's been flying around the solar system, or maybe a bit further. But to the casual observer, he's a mithering, pestering sloth. Where have you been to this week, Cosmo? Cosmo, where have you been? 3 clues. Only answer after the clues. Cosmo over and out. If you spotted the spaceship on that, that's actually Cosmo's little runaround, actually. It's a very lavish craft, Cosmo. Cosmo, where have you been? He's going to tell me where he's been. Okay, so 3 clues. Don't answer, please. I'm pointing my finger at you. How rude. Don't answer until I've read out all 3, because it's a nice way to test the astronomer's brain cells. Okay, so I like this one because I didn't know this. Oh, 5 comments. What do these say? Thursday's best for me. Too many things on a Friday evening. Very good. Thursdays are fine. Just wanted to put it in my diary. That's so sweet. Set an alert in your phone. Look, I have to do it. Set an alert on your phone. Pop Astro Live, Thursday, 8 p.m. So it bleep every single time. And remind you to come and join me, Cosmo, Eleni, and Sonia. Thank you for another fabulous week. See you next week. Okay, don't go just yet, David. We've still got a Cosmo contest. Okay, Cosmo, where have you been? Where Cosmo has been, the name is derived from the Roman goddess of the dawn. She traveled from east to west, announcing the coming of the sun. The name was coined, I didn't know this, Cosmo, very good, by Galileo. So I'll say that again in plain English. The word is derived from the name of the Roman goddess of the dawn, who traveled from east to west, announcing the coming of the sun. The name was coined by Galileo. That's really cool. How's my internet? I've got an internet warning light flashing up saying it's poor, so hopefully you can still see me. Sometimes this place where Cosmo has been can make a hissing or crackling noise, which begins at about 70 meters above the Earth's surface. That is weird, isn't it, Cosmo? And finally, the Inuit believed it was people playing football. No, the spirits of the dead playing football with a walrus skull. So that's eclectic for you. Where have we been? Oh, I'm going very fuzzy. Ah! Why am I going fuzzy? Just don't know what to do. Aurora Borealis. Thank you, David. Again, thank you very much. Okay, my bandwidth is acting up. I don't know what to do about it. Why would it just be happening now? I don't know. Thank you, everybody who's joined in with the show. Like, tag, share the video, share it with your friends, share it onto your timeline, join the SPA. Cosmo, you've been a little love. Thank you to everybody who's contributed this week. And I'm going to press the off button now. I'll see you all next week. Please pray my internet holds out because I've run out of options. Bye.